Let's talk about what you need to do to prepare yourself to bring home that beautiful little puppy for the first day. Hey everyone, this is Sean from Boxers Del Grego, and today we're going to talk about bringing home that new puppy. My co-host is Duchess, and she is checking out all this new stuff that we have on the table. You like what you see, Duchess? All right, as you can see, we have a table full of good stuff and even overflowing onto our bench. These are some of the items that you're going to need in order to bring that puppy home and have a good transition for the puppy. What we normally tell our people who we're selling dogs to is send us a blanket. And we can have the mother and the father lay on the blanket, use the blanket, the siblings lay on the blanket, use the blanket. So when you take that puppy home, you're going to go ahead and have a blanket with the scent of the family on there. So that way it's a good transition and the puppy won't freak out so much. You're still going to have the midnight howling, but that happens. And the good thing about having a puppy is, hey, they're yours. So, am I doing okay, Duchess? Yeah? All right, good girl. All right, so first things first is, if you're picking up your puppy, make sure you have the blanket, send that ahead of time. Have little items that you may like, like my wife loves to do all these things and doll up the puppies. That's just the way she is. These are little puppy pads. And what that is if they have an accident, you can lay it down on the cage and it'll help train them. Normally by 8 weeks of age, when we let our puppies go, we've had them in the grass. They know that if they're gonna go and do their business, they're gonna do it out in the grass. They're puppies and they're gonna have accidents, so puppy pads. Have own little individual, dog bowl for your new member of your family. Even if you have other members like Duchess, she's going to need her own bowl. And so whatever we name this puppy will need her own bowl. So that way she can be one of the group. Toys are a must, especially squeaky ones. And then don't forget to have your lead and your dog collar. Now, you're going to have to buy several dog collars for your boxer because they're going to get pretty good sized on you. And this is not going to fit for very long. But it's a good thing to have, especially if you have a trip to go pick up the dog and bring the dog home with you. You want to make sure that she doesn't get loose when you're trying to use the bathroom outside with her. Like I said, always have a water dish with you when you go on your trip so that way she can drink or he can drink without issue. Now, one thing that we do with Boxers Del Grego is we have a buyer's agreement that we normally have our buyers fill out with us, and we go line by line with them so they understand exactly what it is they're getting and what we are standing by, from everything from refund policy to their responsibilities as a new owner. It's a terms of a contract for sale, and it's a receipt as well, signed by both the buyer and the seller. So that way you'll have proof and documentation of exactly what you're getting. If you go to someone to buy a puppy and that puppy is, are you done with me? You done? If you're gonna go buy a puppy and that individual is not even gonna give you a bill of sale, be careful. Because you really want to make sure you have a good dog that's sound and you have some documentation to stand behind it. Another thing you have to really consider and you have to be concerned about is if there is no buyback. Every one of my dogs I buy back. And the reason is because, hey, if something bad happens to that dog, I don't want the dog to be on the street. It's one of Boxers Del Grego dogs, and we want to make sure they have a good place to stay. So we definitely have that in the contract. Also, unlike some breeders, we do DNA testing at Boxers Del Grego. Every one of our dogs are DNA tested and they are safe to breed. If a dog's not safe to breed, we're not going to breed them. And the reality is not every breeder is like that. Many breeders do not do the additional health screening required and needed to make a safe transition to your home. All right, so that's this document in a nutshell. Make sure that you have a good buyer's contract. Make sure that You get that vet to take a look at your dog as soon as you get her to the house within 3 business days, so that way they can't say that, hey, there's something wrong with this dog, but you know what? You didn't get a vet to take a look at him, and so you're stuck with this dog. You get a professional say, there's something wrong with this dog. Hopefully that's everything to get you started on day 1 puppy pickup. Leave us a comment, give us a like, tell us if we're doing a good job, ring that bell, follow us, and we'll make sure that we answer you back and hopefully give you some good advice. And remember, really comfortable pad. Puppy's gonna need that, so that way she or he can be very happy with it. Don't forget that your puppy may not be in the same city that you're in. And so when you go to that city, you have to do your homework. Make sure that you have the buyer's address, and also you've talked to the buyer before on the phone and also on videotape. So in other words, you're talking about FaceTime, you're talking about Zoom, you're talking about many different social media platforms to talk to this new potential buyer. Do not exchange monies with someone you don't know. Do not give them any type of monies over Western Union. Do not send monies in the mail to someone you've never talked to. These are possible scammers. Now, naturally, if you can see that you see the puppy on a video chat, because of the distance between you and the seller, and you're talking to the seller, you've made several phone calls to the seller, you know where they're located, you have their address, and you want to send a deposit, sending a deposit is not a bad thing. It will hold that dog for you and make sure that nobody else will get that dog. But remember, you want a paper trail. I recommend Zelle or I recommend PayPal. If you don't like what is going on with PayPal, for instance, you buy something, you don't like it, you can tell PayPal, hey, they didn't give me what I wanted. And PayPal will give you your money back. That's a little known thing. So more people know that now. Once again, be aware of scammers. Be prepared to go to that city. Pet transportation. So pet transportation is something that we have used many times with Boxers Del Grego to sell our dogs and actually to pick up dogs. You really, once again, need to know who you're dealing with, because sometimes you're in a different state than the person you're buying the dog from. And so it's good to know that you have a relationship with this individual. You know a little bit about them, you know their address, you know their phone number, you've talked to them several times on the phone, you've done video chatting with them, you've seen your dog on video, live. So that way there is no, oh, well, the puppy's not available. If the puppy's not available, then go elsewhere to get your dog. Transportation experts are available to you. I'm not going to name one site over the other, but there are several good ones. And you can look on different social media platforms to get those. If you want, you can give us a ring at the very bottom, ask a question. We're happy to give you some of the people who we've used with Boxers Del Grego and we've had good luck with. Maybe you'll have good luck with them too. We can't guarantee them, they don't work for us. But we've had good success stories with many transportation experts on pets and other options there. I think that's about it. If there's any questions, let me know. Now let's talk about crates. Make sure that you crate train your dog. It's good for them, it's good for you, it's not gonna harm them. If anything, you know what, it makes it safer for them. And when they are having their moments where they wanna be alone, they can go ahead and go in their crate, and that is their sanctuary, their private place. And it's good for them. Plus, when you're gone for the day, close the crate up, let them hang out in there for a little bit. Make sure they have plenty of room to move around. Make sure they can stand up without their head touching. Make sure they can turn completely around, and make sure they have a water source. That's about it for a crate. If they stand up and they hit their head on top of the crate, it's too small. Get a bigger crate. Boxers can get big. Males can get between 65 to 85 pounds, and females can get between 45 and 65 pounds. And so you want to make sure that they have plenty of room. All right? That's it. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. Thanks for watching, guys. Boxers Del Grego.